what you do because of all it will be harder for you to potentially find a partner?
I think we're also outliers just because we make a lot more. Like, we have something a lot of people don't, which is freedom, and people strive for that all the time. And so when you see someone that's passionate, meeting their goals, I think it's really attractive, and the right person will come along.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
I mean, you'd be surprised again, like how many guys wouldn't care about us doing. I know, like the traditional societal norm guy would definitely care a lot, but there's plenty of guys out there who are down for long-term relationships. And
but we're talking marriage and kids here. So
yeah,
that is kind of the traditional
like
route
too.
Because from what I've heard from a lot of men is for just some short-term fun, maybe even just even a girlfriend, but like long-term commitment, marriage, kids, family, a lot of guys have told me like I couldn't do it. And I don't know if that's something that you guys have encountered.
Maybe if you're just matching on Tinder, you would find 99% of guys would be like, no, like I wouldn't marry someone like that. But I think a lot of us also have long-term friends that may turn into relationships. And I feel like you're more likely to get a marriage and like kids out of something like that, where they've known you as a person beyond you as a sex object, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they're more likely to do that.
Yeah, and it definitely like kind of depends if both of your kind of like goals intertwine with each other, and like, you know, if it like doesn't get in the way, kind of like just like the same like morals and like values as well. Like if you guys are kind of on the same page about that stuff, then it really shouldn't matter.
Yeah, a lot of successful OnlyFans girls that I've met are married or have long-term relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the same as wanting a partner that is supportive of your career.
Mm-hmm.
But how many of these girls, like, because OnlyFans is kind of a bit new. I'd say it's kind of come into the public consciousness in the past 2 or 3 years.
Sure.
How many of them were already married, already in relationships, and they're on their, like, that's their primary partner and has been? Because you said a lot of OnlyFans girls have long-term partners, are married. I mean, they probably met before they started doing sex work.
I mean, not
I would
all the
assume.
time. I think it's a mix.
We've seen
Yeah.
proposal photos, you know, like in our group chats and such.
We
And
do.
yeah, engagement celebrations
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
You'd be
Also-
surprised.
Yeah, I think what also happens is that, like, you know, I think for maybe a person who's into traditional norms, they'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird, like, I'm not really into that. But, like, you know, I feel like when people see us, they see us as a person before seeing us as an OF creator. And I think that really shines out a lot more than what we do. At least for me personally, when people meet me, they're like, oh, you play a lot of video games, you like reading, you love cats. Asher, if you're watching this, I love you. I love you.
Is that your cat?
Yes,
Oh,
I love
okay.
my cat. Like I feel like, you know, I feel like qualities other than just being an OF creator just pop up a lot more.
Mm-hmm. A lot of you, I kind of want to bring it back to something that I had heard earlier before. So someone who was saying that you don't get a lot of sleep because you're working so much. Was that you, Rocket Raina?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And is that because in terms of what you're working on, is that you like messaging back and forth with men?
It's not just that. It takes a lot more. People don't understand like how much work goes into this. Like most people don't do well on OnlyFans, right? Like most girls, they really don't do well. But it takes a lot of time. You are interacting, like you are their therapist, you are the entertainment, but you're also like doing a lot of background work, whereas like making content, keeping up with it, structuring your business. There's a lot of work going on that goes into it.
Okay.
You do a lot of writing. You become a really good writer when it comes to these things.
Oh. Oh, that's for sure.
But you get a lot of attention too
Okay.
from the men, right?
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with that. That's my next point. Well, okay, so
You think I'm pretty?
well, generally speaking, do you think the men that would be willing, that are okay with it, like for example, your fans, I suspect your fans would happily be in relationships with you or date you. they're obviously attracted to you. They're obviously prepared to pay for your OnlyFans and interact with you. And I suspect some of you they've maybe pushed for in-person meetings, or maybe you've received proposals from some of them. And so, but would you date a customer?
Yeah, I'd be open to it.
Because I've spoken to a lot of strippers, and they've said I would never date a customer. I'd never, because you like, and you used to strip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you said that's different, but so like, would you date a customer? And maybe you can weigh in on what your ex-coworkers thought on that.
Well, sure, a lot of strippers, we had regulars, right? But you don't generally develop an intimate relationship the way you might on OnlyFans, I would say. But it varies. It varies. I just think that there's more men who get on OnlyFans for that personal connection and interaction than maybe men who go to strip clubs. A lot of guys who go to strip clubs are just looking for a fun night, or just want attention, and that's it.
Okay. Huh. But so you said, though, when it came to stripping, you never found a guy who was a customer, like, you wouldn't date a customer?
No, I didn't find anyone I was interested in, but I will say maybe if I had done it for longer, it would have been different.
Okay. Because isn't there some component of these guys are tricking on you? Like, so you're just like, you've put them in the customer category, even if they were attractive or whatever, decent men, you're like, you're a customer. Like, is there something unattractive about a man who would pay for
your attention?
Not inherently, and I did know some girls who dated customers. I think that there could be something endearing about a man caring about you enough to spend that much money on you, right? That's
Can you
a
take the
sacrifice.
microphone down just slightly?
Of course, yeah. But yeah, there's something endearing about a man wanting to spend that much money on you. That's a real sacrifice. So I feel like for a lot of women, it shows that they really care about you, and that feels good.
I would kind of disagree, just because a lot of my fans also spend a ton on a lot of other girls. And I don't want to say I would never date a fan, because the right one might come along, and there's a lot of sweet ones, as we all know. But just the fact that they're spending on other girls, and also they saw you as sex object first, right? Like, they were attracted to your nudes first. And it's really hard to get to know my personality through OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, true.
So just for that, I would be kind of wary in dating fans.
So actually, my past 2 relationships were fans. So yeah.
Okay.
So before I did OnlyFans, I did Twitch. So I would just,
Play games.
Play
and
games
stuff.
with them.
Or were you like a hot tub streamer?
No, actually not. I was
Okay.
Overwatch.
Okay.
OG Overwatch.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
Overwatch 1. And then it was like my birthday, and I was like, hey, who wants to celebrate my birthday with me? And then a couple of my fans showed up, found out they lived close to me, and then we became friends, and we all hung out together, and it was just
Did you charge them for the meet and greet?
No.
Okay.
It was just purely friends, because I only invited
You were
the
comfortable with
close-
that? I feel like a lot of girls would not be cool.
It was a
like,
public area,
okay.
and I Ubered home, so they
Sure.
couldn't really follow me.
Okay. Actually, that is interesting. So you mentioned that your fans, they're paying for other girls' OnlyFans. If you started dating a guy, I'm not even sure if you would date a fan, but like, let's say you were dating a guy and you found out that he was spending money on other girls' OnlyFans, would you have an issue with that?
I think it depends, but I want to say yes, like, honestly, just not for the fact that he's looking at other girls or even talking to other girls, but the fact that he's spending money on other girls when it's like, you should be spending money on me, you know? Like, that's the issue I have. Like, he can watch porn, he can, whatever, but if he's paying for someone else's nudes, that, like, gets to me a little bit.
Interesting. Okay, we'll go around the table on this. Would that be an issue if you were dating someone and they were spending money on somebody else's OnlyFans and other girls' OnlyFans?
Yeah, I would kind of have a problem with that.
Okay.
I would never date a fan, but if I were to and I found out they were spending money on other girls, it is not a problem for me personally. Like, I would probably want to watch it with them. Be like, oh shit, what she's posting is hella hot. Oh shit, that's a really fun position. I kind of want to try that. Oh shit.
Okay.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like dating a fan if they were able to separate, you know, if they could do more than just, you know, sexualize me. But if I found out that they were sub to another girl or giving another girl money, I wouldn't really care. I would be like, yo, you want to share? You want to be a homie? It's like sharing like a Netflix subscription. Like, I want to join. I want to look. I mean, I also like women. So like, and also like, you know, looking at other girls too. Sometimes I sub to other girls just because I want to see what they're doing. Because, you know, I feel like every creator has something special and I want to look at it because I'm constantly inspired. So like if my fan is doing that for me, okay, let me look.
Okay. What about you?
Okay, well, you heard me. I did date a fan.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
So what happened was I asked them, I'm not comfortable with them looking at other girls' content and also like paying for it. So I told them like, hey, whatever you want to see, I will make it for you, or we can make it together. And so.
Okay.
Like I mentioned already, like I prefer open relationships. So actually, I don't think I would have.
Sorry, tilt the microphone down towards you.
Yeah, like I said, I prefer open relationships. So I think this is an area that I would be open-minded about. And also, I always support people supporting sex workers. So personally speaking, in an open relationship, I think that like I would be okay with both of us being able to do that.
Right.
I may be more reluctant to share my own wealth with that person, though. Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem dating a fan, and if they were consuming other girls as OnlyFans products, that's fine with me because it's like ethical consumption, and like they're gonna be watching. A lot of guys watch porn. I don't think it's like I'm not in the place to just stop them. So like might as well just have them do something more ethical.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have a problem dating a fan either. I actually like became friends, like pretty good friends with some of my fans. As for like dating a fan and like having them spend money on other girls, I like other girls too. So I'm like, hey honey, can I watch with you?
Yes,
you know, can I throw some money at them too? It'll be a bonding experience for me.
Okay. You know what? We have a video for us to react to. It's from a similar podcast to ours, and they sort of were discussing this in one of their, I think it was a recent stream, or maybe it was a while ago, I don't know. But he's talking about the difficulty that OnlyFans creators could potentially face in the dating marketplace, in the sexual marketplace, in the marriage marketplace. Go ahead, Eric, if you want to pull it up. And we want to get your guys' reaction to it.
Fast money leads to slow problems down the line for women. And a lot of the times, you know, getting on OnlyFans, being a stripper, being a dancer, being involved in the sex industry whatsoever, what's going to happen is you're going to get that money quick. You're going to get that bag. You're going to become successful from a financial perspective, but you're going to become very poor from a mating perspective. So just understand that your actions do have consequences in the future. You can't have it all. You want to be a city girl, you gonna stay. She belongs to the streets. In the city. You know what I'm saying? Women are interested in a man's future. Men are interested in a woman's past. So I know that you're like working with an agency to expunge that stuff, whatever. If a guy truly is serious about marrying you, he's gonna find out. And what's gonna